Hey everyone, this is Saul Maraney in Cape Town, South Africa, and I've got a very special interview for you guys today, a bonus interview with James Renouf. So James, thanks so much for talking to me. I really appreciate this opportunity.
My pleasure, Saul. Thanks so much for having me today.
Oh, you're welcome, James. And James, for people that most people know you, they should know you. You're definitely the most prolific guy that is on Warrior Plus. I mean, you've definitely been ahead of the curve. You brought out over 40 WSOs of the day. You were one of the first people to talk about cryptocurrency, and you told us about retargeting, and you told us about the YouTube Live. You were like one of the first people to talk about that, and it was regurgitated many times, but you were definitely the first out there. And yeah, you're just such an incredible guy. I mean, I'm one of your biggest fans, and I'd like to talk briefly about, just a little bit about who you are and how you've achieved such great success. I know that we don't have long, and then we'll talk briefly about the new product, and I'll let you get on with your day. So thanks so much for this opportunity. And James, you're a young guy. How old are you now?
I am 40 now.
You
Yeah.
you're 40. So I mean, you've always been like on the cutting edge of internet marketing. Did you, and for people that are watching, and for me, I'm quite interested. Did you have an actual day job before you started doing internet marketing? What intrigued you, and how did you decide to position yourself as like this, almost this investigator to bring the new stuff always as it breaks?
Yeah, I mean, my story started with I was someone that needed to make money. My wife was pregnant with my first child. This was 8 years ago. And what I did was I said, look, how am I going to make money? Which a typical person would think of. I said, I'm going to sell the crap that's in my house. And what I did was I had a yard sale. And I had this yard sale and I made maybe $100 or something like that. And I took the rest of my junk to like a Salvation Army kind of place and gave it away for free. And I dropped it off on the back of this Salvation Army. And my wife and I just said, let's just go into this place, just check it out. We went in, and as we walked in, so I just dropped off my stuff. As I'm walking in, someone walks by me carrying and ready to purchase one of the things I just brought in. If that makes sense.
It does.
So a little light bulb went off that said, wow, the reason I didn't sell this at my yard sale is because someone bought this from me in a location that I wasn't part of. That brought me to Craigslist. I started selling things on Craigslist 8 years ago. I made an information product from what I did on Craigslist. Then the information product got me seen and got me an infomercial. So my first ever information product got me an infomercial, if you can believe that.
Right. So I've seen that video that through your trainings, and in your recent product, you gave that as a bonus, that infomercial, and it's, yeah, I mean, it's quite raw even. I mean, the way that you did it, but it brought you such fame, and you were one of the first people that did that. So that light came off in your head, and what did that tell you, that you could package information and start selling it? I mean, did you taste blood almost, and then you just realized
Yeah,
that,
it was
like,
just,
wow.
yeah, I'm sorry, so there's a slight delay. I'm not trying to interrupt you, sorry. The thing about that was that, I could take things from my home and sell it. Craigslist was a lot different 8 years ago, but I could take what I made from Craigslist and then I could sell my information online. And then there's people online making millions of dollars selling information products. It was just this progression, and it was an opportunity. And I got to hang out with a couple guys. Joe Polish. Here comes my dog. Actually, hold on, two of my dogs. What was his name? It's thundering out right now, so my dogs are scared. So, I was hanging out with guys like Joe Polish and Dean Graziosi, guys that are making multiple seven figures, and it made me realize, wow, look at what they can do. I'm not saying that I was Joe Polish or Dean Graziosi, but seeing these guys that were willing to talk to me, teach me a little bit, and I was, quote unquote, nothing. I was someone that was brand new, and these guys are killing it, and they're willing to talk to me. It just totally blew my mind as to what's going on in the world and the potential. And sometimes you have to see that. You have to actually see that. My mind couldn't handle that was a possibility. That's what could happen out there. So and then from then on, as you said, tasting blood, I guess. It was just, it was like, wow, there's so much more that I can do.
Amazing, amazing. Well, I am a huge, huge fan of Joe Polish. I know Joe Polish very well. I listen to his podcast, I Love Marketing, with Dean Jackson, and Joe Polish is really one of the most inspirational guys I've ever met in my life. So it's great that you bring up his name. And Dean Graziosi is also an amazing guy. And these guys are, as you say, they're connected with Elon Musk. I mean, they Ariana Huffington, these sort of people. But I mean, I think for what you've done is almost more impressive, because Joe is changing the world on a massive scale, but he's got that 25K group, and he deals with all the biggest CEOs in the world. I mean, you've actually given inspiration to show normal people like myself how we can package information, and how people are prepared to pay for packaged information, which is just mind-blowing, James. I mean, what gave you that? I mean, you started off like everyone else. You opened up an account on Warrior Plus, and it was a free account to open, and then you started off like anyone else. But in such a short period of time, I mean, I just hope for anyone that's watching, and it's such a great opportunity to be hearing from you. But there is not one other person on Warrior Plus that has got the pull that you've got, that gets 100 sales in 3 minutes, that has got that formula. I mean, I know that you don't have long to talk to us today because you're in the middle, it's the first day of the launch, but just give me like a little bit of an insight. How have you done that? How have you been able to become the most influential person? You don't beg for affiliates. You don't run around like with your tail between your legs. You've just got that wow factor. I mean, what is that? What is that?
Yeah, I mean, well, when I started, my first product. So I came, like I said, from making my first product and having an infomercial from it. When I started going on, the Warrior Forum at that time, I don't make products on the Warrior Forum, but I do standalone web pages now. But when I did my first product, I said, look, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to dominate this. And I really got humbled because I sold 4 products. So I said, I'm going to sell, so it's not always just been easy. In other words, the reason why I feel like I've had success in this is because I continue to do it. I continue to show up where I've seen people come and go. And, people like you, Saul, you more than anyone, I've seen just hustle harder than anyone I've ever seen out there. And that's something that, I look to you for. That's what I look up to you as, your hustle, where I'm a little bit more introverted in that sense. So that's something that I think is really powerful for you, a strength for you. Where my strength is, I'm willing to continue to keep going out there trying to find new things, and that's been successful. And people look for me to have new stuff because that's what I put out there.
Well, thank you for that compliment. I appreciate it. Our relationship goes back to when I just started with internet marketing. I don't know if you remember. I think it was Omar Martin, if I'm not mistaken. It was him or one of these guys that you were offering a private consultation if someone bought through your link. And I bought through your link, and I bugged you a bit to get that call because you were busy and you were in the middle of another launch. But I got that call with you, and I've stuck in contact with you. And thank you for that compliment. For anyone that's watching, for me, I just want them to get that little bit of an insight, and that's where I get motivated by you, James, is that, you've got the guts and you package information and you put it out there. First of all, I worked for 12 years for a big insurance company selling policies and investments, and every time I sold, I made commission, but it was their intellectual capital, and it was never a great feeling knowing that I was so commoditized. And also, I'm a white South African. In South Africa, there's not many jobs for white people. That's just the fact of our economy and how things are, hopefully going to be improving in this country. So for me, it's absolutely no alternative. I didn't want to be owned by a client base and sell someone's intellectual property. So I decided to go full-time into internet marketing. And thank you for your compliment, because as you say, it's never easy. This is my 8th WSO the day that I won this weekend, but there's been ups and downs all the way along, and it's just the motivation to carry on. James, when you don't feel like carrying on, you must be like anyone else. Sometimes you get a bit gutful, sorry, that's a South African slang word, or you just you don't feel like carrying on, or I mean, you've got your kids. What is your actual inner motivation that just allows you to be so dynamic all the time?
Yeah, I think now it's not. It's organic. At first it's you when you're working a full time job and you're staying up till 1 2 in the morning, which is what you really have to do at first when you're trying to get going. There's a lot of you just kind of push through it. Well, now it's just how I am. I enjoy this. I enjoy this lifestyle. So yes, like anyone, you have ups and downs, but it's not a question of am I going to do this? Am I going to succeed at this? There's levels of success, but I feel like I'm always going to have some level of success because I've been doing this for so long, and just I'm always constantly part of this. This is my life in a big way. So it's not forced. It's what I do. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. So you're saying that it's become part of you, and I mean, you've basically found your calling. And a question, I mean, you sit there and you see a lot of, even hot shots come up quickly and maybe fizzle out, and you've been around for longer than most people, and you see people always coming and going. I mean, is there like a common trait? But you said earlier the hustle, which is important for anyone that's watching this. How important is it like focus? For example, I'd like to just talk to you about focus for a moment. I mean, the newbie nightmare is very real. People get stuck in buying these products, and I mean, you've just come out with this phenomenal new product today. I mean, your new product today talks about Amazon Video Direct, where we can actually upload our videos to Amazon, where there are millions of people there with their credit card details already entered. So it's like a one touch to access this. But so my question to you is, if someone's watching this, maybe they're stuck in the newbie nightmare, they're buying and they're just not winning. What's your advice in terms of focus, and can you relate that to your new product, please?
Yeah, I mean, we all struggle. Well, there's several different things. So number one, if you're new, usually your family, your friends have no idea what you're doing. They don't understand it. My mom still doesn't understand what I do. She tells people I work with computers. I mean, that's literally what her understanding of what I do. In terms of focus, I'm that way myself. I'm not going to show you my office here, but I've got so many magazines, I have so many books that I haven't touched. I think it's important to be knowledgeable, to get yourself trained and look at products and byproducts. You need to do that. At the same time, though, don't make it all encompassing. That's the problem. You have to switch or get more weight on the producing side. That's really the key. And so, you could spend your whole life just trying to consume data. A lot of it is in terms of action, having constant imperfect action. I had one guy I was coaching or am coaching, and it took me 2 months to get him to make one video. Okay, 2 months of coaching because he wanted that video to be perfect. And I could make 200 crappy videos, right? 200 quote unquote crappy videos that will trump what he's doing for phase one because he just wants to be too perfect. He doesn't want to fail. So you really got to think about, pushing for that success as opposed to being worried about failing, because you're going to fail. I fail every single day. And to me, that tells me that I'm doing something right. So you just have to just make that mental switch. It's a tough one. And it's something that I deal with all the time, but you have to constantly keep revisiting that and just push forward and try and be as bulletproof as possible.
Very nice, very nice. I hear what you're saying is that basically that you push through and you show up. So even if you don't feel like continuing, I mean, it's you've made up your mind. You're a guy that sticks to what you're doing, which is great. And you're like a writer that writes every day. So just as an analogy, so you continue doing this every day. I know that you've got your research, like you watch blogs and you're always on top of so you also talk about being multidimensional, but you focused on what you're doing, because imperfect action definitely is better than perfect action. It's almost a cliche, but it's so true, and when I had one job when I finished school, and I did recruitment for a year. And I had a boss that was not a very nice man, but he taught me one important thing. He said the number one thing that employers look for on a CV, James, is did you complete that diploma or that degree that you started, So even if you don't have a degree, it's better than almost having an incomplete degree. And I was actually reading on the weekend that something like 65% of people that do MBAs worldwide, 65% never hand in a dissertation, which is like a crazy number. And I think it relates to what we're talking about here, is that a lot of times people buy a product, they get almost lost on the way back into their inbox. But if you sit down, guys, and you learn these products and you implement them, and you're going to see success. And I'm proof of that. I mean, James is obviously proof of that. James, you've teamed up also with Dave. I mean, Dave has had recently, I just did this interview with him now. So when people see this page, they'll see their interview with Dave. He's also had an amazing run, sold millions and millions of dollars. And, for me, that's what I say is that the most important thing is the advice that you're giving, that you're following. So there's nothing worse than bad advice. And that's why, like Joe Polish, as we said, like I follow him on the biggest scale because I like him and I trust him. And in your new product now with this Amazon Video Direct, it's not like it's coming from a guy that's never done anything. He also had a massive run for 11 years with an infomercial. He knows the media. He knows how this stuff works. So, I mean, you've teamed up with Dave. Can you tell us a little bit about Dave and, your new product?
Yeah.
Your new product costs $15 and they're like 16 videos. I've reviewed the videos. They're just mind-boggling. I mean, just the way that he presented the information was so great. So tell us a little bit about why you partnered with Dave, and for the guys that invest $15 today for your new product, like what are they going to expect to get from this training?
Yeah, so Dave and I had a lot of congruency. I mean, he started with eBay. I started with Craigslist many years ago. We both had infomercials. We both are product creators, and he's done a lot more with Udemy than in terms, so kind of different circles. So we had a lot of congruency there. He's really good at when he presents. He has almost like a
radio voice.
Yeah, exactly, like a radio voice. So if you listen to it, you know what I'm talking about. And that's him. I had someone say, did he have someone speak for him? Like they didn't believe it was him because of his voice. It sounded like he paid someone to talk for him. No, that's his voice. That's how he talks. And he's a really professional guy. It's been a great experience to work with him. So we both understood the power of this platform and this premise, and at the exact same time. So that's what really made us connect. And so that's why we're going after it. And the great thing about this platform is that it's beautiful. It's using the power of Amazon. So every single person on there is a buyer. It's using a specific platform with their videos so that your videos can show right up with products. So people doing search for products, you have no competition. It's not like with YouTube where you have every single kind of different type of person, but it's very cluttered. There is very few people on here. They also are giving out $1 million a month to the top 100 videos that get the most amount of views. They're giving out $1 million, period. If you're getting 20% of the views, you're going to get $200,000. And right now, that just starts. So the timing of this is impeccable. Because first off, in the internet marketing community, most people aren't even aware of this. So my course is the first course I ever had on something like this. So people are going to have the greatest amount of opportunity right now. So it fits everyone. If you're someone that has a physical product, great. If you're someone that does Kindle, great. If you're someone that sells information products, you can have your product on there and you can sell it in bits and pieces, just like a course on any other platform. I believe this is the first step for Amazon Video Direct to compete with a platform like Udemy or Teachable.com. That's where I see it going. You have the ability, just like YouTube, to upload videos, but you're in front of all buyers in something that has very little competition. So if you do any kind of search out there for niches or whatever niche you're involved in, you can put videos out there, and there is literally probably no competition for that specific niche right now. That's why it's so crazy. Years from now, this is going to be well known. There's going to be tons of people involved in this, but right now, it's like shooting fish in a barrel, that kind of analogy. That's how the kind of power that you have right now with this platform. So I'm really excited about it. And you don't have to have your own product. You just make a video on anything. They just get paid for people watching the videos. That's one of monetization strategies.
Wow. Yeah. So, I mean, look, I mean, guys, you've heard it from James today, and this has been such an important call, James. It's the first time I've ever interviewed you, so thank you for the opportunity. And guys, you know what, James, I mean, it's very important if you listen to this conversation, there's no one that can get 100 sales in 3 minutes. There's no one that gets 1,000 sales in the first hour of his products. James has had over 46 WSOs of the day. And yeah, it's so interesting to hear, like, you know, I'm so glad that I spoke to Dave. I've been in contact with Dave before because he's promoted my products. I've never actually promoted, but he has promoted some of my stuff before. He's done well. And I'm so glad that I spoke to him before I spoke to you. So you guys, you know, you make sure that you see that interview as well. James, you should also watch it. And you've got so much synchronicity with this guy. It's so amazing. It's actually, it's, you know, just the penny just dropped now for me is that you both started off in the same time. You both had that infomercial. He hit it big with Amazon. You hit it big with Craigslist, and you both, you know, you both understand the power of publishing. It's publishing. It's information publishing, and he's, you know, he's a stand-up guy. As I said, like, I was so happy that I actually interviewed him after I went through the videos, because I actually mentioned on that video that he's got that the videos were so easy to go through. Sometimes, guys, 14 videos can be a pain in the neck to watch, I admit. I mean, I get review copies, and James will tell you, I'm one of the few people that go through every review copy, but some are a pain in the neck to watch. I mean, if you actually watch Dave in these videos, he's got literally like he's got a radio voice, and he's sold, I think, like he said, over $130 million of product or something. So I mean, it's ridiculous. You're getting James Renouf, and you're getting Dave Espino's advanced their products at $15 for the front end. Our good friend Jeremy Kennedy did the website, beautiful website. It's just completely different, and congratulations on your website. Let's just talk quickly, James, because you've got to go now. The $15 is a no-brainer. They're going to get, as I said, about 16 videos. Just tell us quickly about the one-time offers for guys going through your funnel today, please.
Yeah, so it will start at 17, not 15, just to clarify
17,
that.
Excuse me, 17,
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah, and it will continue to grow every hour. So that really is that's an amazingly low price for what the opportunity that you're getting here. I guarantee you're going to see products coming out for much more on the exact same thing that we're coming out with, even though we're the first to do it, obviously. In terms of the upsell, we have some advanced strategies, a whole course in and of itself in terms of product creation that you can use for everything, specifically for Udemy, which is another platform. We're going to talk about how you can get in front of 10 million other people on another totally different platform in terms of television. And that's a big thing, too, to remember with this course. This is not just about getting on Amazon. It's about getting on television. So people that have Amazon Prime, they can see you on their devices, their mobile phones, their tablets, their televisions. So you're getting on television. That's a big point. Not just in, you know, a lot of people are focusing on the $1 million and the fact that you don't need to have a product and some of those things. But that, too, in and of itself is a huge thing. So as seen on Amazon and so on, that's part of this. But some of the things in terms of potential difficulties that people might have with doing things, we really kind of expand on things. Some things that people may have outsourced, we're going to show you ways to do it for free in a really clever way. I would even call them hacks for some of these things. So there's a lot to offer in that film. I would pick it up.
Right. So I've been through your front end. You know, it's all there. The information is there. But basically, you're making it. There's quite a bit of almost done for you. You're giving some extra hacks. You're giving some free resources that in a consultation you could charge for. I mean, that's the upsell if one wants.
Yeah, in terms of things like one thing, you have to have closed captioning on your videos, and we show you how to do that for free several different ways in really neat ways. Another thing in terms of graphics, how to make graphics for free and very easily. Those are the kind of things we go into.
Great. Well, James, it's been a 25-minute interview. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I wish you all the best of luck for your launch. I hope anyone that's watching this just realizes, you know, the great opportunity I had, and you guys share this opportunity because you got to, you know, hear from James Renouf, the number one guy in our industry by far. James, I just wish you health and success. Just continue doing what you're doing because you've helped so many people. You've helped me so much. I look up to you. Your products have never let anyone down, and you got by far the highest sales. So it's just amazing to see what a guy can achieve. And congratulations to you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to leave us with? Maybe some inspiration for someone struggling today? Just leave us with one final word.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Saul, for the opportunity with this interview. Thank you for the person or people that are watching this. I really do appreciate your time. Know that the biggest thing is that you're not alone in this. Sometimes we feel that no matter what city or town you're in, like you're the only one doing it. I specifically surround myself with internet marketers. My Facebook feed is solely marketers. So I'm bombarded every day with people doing the same thing. So in a sense, I feel like everyone's doing this, even though that's not true. I found that was something that really helped me out, surrounding myself with like-minded people that do what I do or they're involved in this community. So that's the biggest thing. If you're new and you feel like you're alone, then start adding marketers, because when you add a marketer, they're going to add you back, because that's just how it works. So don't feel shy. I mean, everyone's a different person in level, but don't be shy. Get out there, surround yourself, because that will propel you, because you see what they're talking about. You immerse yourself in the community. That's the best advice I can give.
Great. Well, what wonderful advice to leave it on, guys. Listen, I mean, I moved to Cape Town from Johannesburg. I'm part of a community here. I've ingrained myself in the community, and it makes a big difference day to day. And it's the same thing what James is saying online. It's impossible to do it alone. There are guys that are giving great information. Align yourself with good people, and that gives you the strength to carry on, because James, you know better than anyone. I mean, even the girl I'm dating now, it's hard for her to understand what I'm doing. But if there are people that are online that are doing well, you can support them. They can support you. And James, congratulations. I'm going to let you run. We'll speak to you soon, sir. Be well.